Guys, we've been working on this thing and we got all the tires done, we got the rear end done. We've been working on it quite aggressively. We are ready for the next step. Don't mind all these broken off bolts in here and fun stuff like that. We're probably going to be working on that tomorrow or the next day. But if you guys haven't figured out what motor we're putting in this, I still have to take out all this as well. So yeah, you still got to come out. I forgot about that. But let me continue. If you guys haven't figured out what motor we're going to run, let's go take a look. Now, my buddy Steven has been able to get HP tuners, and he has kind of spiced this thing up a bit. Do you guys know what this engine is? A lot of you guys have been kind of questioning what engine I'm putting into it, and guess what? I'm putting a V6. Why am I putting a V6? Well, let me explain it. So if you guys don't know, we're going to be putting this motor in it. And what is this motor if you guys don't know? This is a 4.3 V6. Now, I did get the security taken out of this, and I'm going to get some help building a standalone harness for this. But this thing here, let me explain to you why I'm going to be running a 4.3 V6 instead of the LS. Some of you guys are going to think I'm crazy. Some of you guys are going to think that it might work. But listen, if you play the same card as everybody else, you're going to come up with a full house every time. But sometimes if you gamble and you play a different card, you might get a royal flush. So let me tell you why I chose this motor. So the reasons why I chose the 4.3, one, I can sell my LS's. I can't sell a 4.3, they're not worth as much. Two, I think the 4.3 follows the same architecture as a small block Chevy. Now a lot of you guys are going to say small block Chevys are old news. I agree. I think that small block Chevys are old news, but they are tried, they are tested, they are true. LS's are tried, tested, and true, but there's a lot more history with the small block Chevys. I know this is not as balanced as an LS because it's a 6 instead of an 8, but so that's reason like number 3. 4, I had a 4.3 when I was in high school, and guys, it was in a ZR2 Blazer, and I made that thing hate every single day of its life. And you know what? It started every day. Never let me down. Horrible fuel economy. Started every day and had moderate power. That brings me on to the next reason. 4.3 has less power than an LS. Now you're going to think, why do I want less power? One, I'm going to be on the rev limiter most of the time anyway, even with an LS. The extra power really ain't going to do me any good. It's just going to spin those back tires faster. It's going to be a muddy track. It's going to be a lot of slipping and sliding. More power comes more parts to break. So if you dial down 60, 70 horsepower, it breaks a lot less U-joints. It breaks a lot less rear ends. 3, my truck's going to be lighter. I can tow it better. I can maneuver it better. And the last reason is there's an extra foot between the radiator and the actual motor. So that means my front end can be pushed in that much farther before it hits my motor. In the rule state, I can do GM to GM. Guys, if I had like a 3-liter inline 4 out of a Mercury boat, which is technically a GM motor, I'd be putting that in this truck. I don't need all this power. I drive Toyota Camrys. I'm used to having absolutely zero power inside the ring. So what we're going to be doing is, this frame is good on this truck, but the truck is absolutely useless to me. So we're going to come in with the Walden, we're going to lift up on the frame, we're going to cut it right at the cross member, pull the whole front of the truck away, cut the fuel lines, and pretty much just go from there. So then we're going to have the radiator, the motor, the harnesses, everything on the ground over there in front of what we need to do. So I think this thing's going to go pretty good. I think it's going to go extremely simple. We got the radiator half out. Maybe I might pull off the core support. I'm not sure. But the AC line's got to go, the heater hose has to go, and we have to disconnect the fuse panel to everything. So it's pretty much where we're at. It's going to be, so let's get the Walden, and we're going to lift this thing up and then start sawzalling, because that's one of my favorite tools out here. Now, just like that, we can change the oil. Well, guys, we got the frame cut, got the transmission crossmember out, got a little bit of wiring left, doesn't really do too much. We got the motor mounts off, so what we got to do now is just basically unhook the radiator, cut the transmission lines, and lift this old girl out. Actually, we're going to probably push it away a bit and then lift it out. And then we'll take off this. I should probably do it now, actually. Take off the computer so it goes with the engine, disconnect the battery, put the fuse panel on there, all that fun stuff. And we're going to take this engine and put it on this floor in here. Now, before we put this motor in this truck, we have to fix some things. So this one right here, I broke all of these bolts that hold the engine in. So I broke one on this side and two on that side, and as you can see them down here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to heat them up and take them out, or just try to put the other ones from that truck into this truck. I don't know yet, but we're going to have to figure that out. So what we're doing right now is all the motor mounts I snapped off, we're welding nuts to them and taking them out. But the problem is these have all been red Loctited. Oh, this truck here is what a cluster. So what we're going to do now is we're going to finish doing this, and then we're going to cut out some of the firewall just to give that distributor some extra space. Then we're going to be trying to put this motor in here today. Maybe pull off the headers, that way it gives us a little bit more space, don't have to worry about that stuff. And then just drop it in there, like, just drop it in. Just drop it in, right off Happy Gilmore.
Tilt back! Stop! Oh! Forward, forward! Go ahead! Ahead, 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 ahead! What? Stop, stop! Oh, whatever. Let her down.
Okay, what?
You're good. Keep coming. Alright, tilt. Come ahead. Tilt and come ahead. Up, up. Can't go up anymore? Well, let me tilt. Come ahead. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop.
Steven and I got this thing like half lifted in here yesterday, and caused a little bit of fights between Steven and I. He doesn't think I should put the motor in yet. I think I should. Then my buddy says to me, well, I should take the chassis off, the body off the chassis, because I have to change out all these mounts. So I think everybody's right. I think I'm rushing on this build. So if you guys come back tomorrow, I plan on taking the body off the chassis tomorrow. I think that is the proper thing, because then I can weld all my repair plates. I can get the torch out and I can torch all the body mounts out, because those all have to be changed. I can set the motor in, I can put the cross member, I can build my drive shaft, I can get my steering set up. I think the proper thing here is to take the body off the chassis. That's not what I want to do, I just think it's proper. So maybe I was rushing it, putting this motor in, and I probably was. But it felt damn good jamming this motor in here. Everybody's saying I should take the time to make this thing nice. The problem is the frame rails are not giving me the effort and the want to make it nice. If this frame, instead of looking like this, look like a clean chassis, maybe I would take a lot more effort and put it in. But sadly, it's not. It's not a clean chassis. It's a piece of shit chassis that I'm using for testing. Why do I always pick the rusty ones? Maybe it's because I live in Canada. But saying that, come back tomorrow, and I think we will be lifting the body off of this chassis. I don't know how well it's going to go, because this body is a very rusty piece of shit. So, I don't know. Steven is working on a standalone harness for this. I found these. It's coming off. Oh, I found these outside. I think these are off of a car I bought 6 years ago, and guess what? They fit, they sit. I think that looks amazing. So, like I said, what we got to do now, tomorrow, because I don't have time today, is to take the body off the chassis. Are you guys liking this truck build? It's stressful. It feels like I'm building like an 80s car that takes a lot of work, that's still kind of stock class. But I got to do all the work to still make it competitive. I don't know. Maybe I'm not used to this. I'm used to a Camry, you know what I mean? But come on back tomorrow and we'll go from this.